Hey Denver, here's what's happening in your city now. Denver's annual Juneteenth Music Festival is here, and 5 Points will once again be filled with the sights and sounds that make this festival special. 5 Points became the center for the festival in the mid-1950s, and nearly 7 decades worth of memories have been made on the Welton Street corridor.
One day, I was standing there, and all of a sudden this Rolls Royce parted the crowd. And we never saw cars come down during Juneteenth, but this Rolls Royce parted the crowd. And as it came to us, it stopped. And whoever was in that car was about to get out and walk in the building that I was standing in front of. It just so happened to be the father soul, James Brown. I got to see him up close and personal. That happened during Juneteenth.
The one that sticks out the most was the first year that we were able to organize in 2012. And my grandfather, Norman Harris Sr., was able to lead the parade that year. He was about 94, 95 years old. That moment was very powerful for me to see him at the front of the parade.
But those memories were put on pause in 2020 as the pandemic interrupted in-person festivities. But the music is back in a big and exciting way in 2021.
We're hosting a concert Friday, June 18th at Levitt Pavilion with the double platinum selling group 112. Put a cherry on top for Saturday night with DJ Jazzy Jeff. And then Sunday evening, we end at Cleo Parker Robinson's with Juneteenth's version of a Sunday service. Another exciting thing that we have, a new partnership, is with the Center on Colfax and Pride Fest. So we're actually going to be working with Pride Fest to create a shared Black Pride experience.
But behind the music, food, and community, there is so much more that drives the festival and its organizers.
It's beyond just, people coming down to 5 Point and celebrating. What we strive to do is to creatively engage folks, to have fun, but also to get some education. The experience that you learn from being at Juneteenth are things like supporting Black businesses and how we can better circulate our dollars. As we continue to build Juneteenth, what we're hoping to build is the love for African American culture and for everyone to feel okay to celebrate African American culture, right? Because we celebrate a lot of folks' culture and we want everyone to come celebrate ours. It's beautiful. What you'll be able to do is engage with people from our community. And if you see pictures of our festivals and the folks that come and the love that's there, it gives me goosebumps even just talking about it. I mean, it's something that you just have to be there. We create a very festive atmosphere, but that at the heart of it, it's designed to help people understand that we're here to celebrate Juneteenth.
I think we celebrate Juneteenth because we shall never forget the cruel and inhumane system of slavery and the sense of relief and jubilation those slaves must have felt in Galveston when they looked up and saw that U.S. Ranger riding to them on his horse and saying to them, "You're free. You're no longer slaves. President Lincoln has signed the Emancipation Proclamation and it's over." That moment, that whole system of slavery, we must never forget. And that's why we celebrate Juneteenth.
And educating communities about the day is central to understanding why it's important.
We need to tell the story of how people of color were treated. And the reason that we need to do that so that we can never repeat it again. So while I'm absolutely excited that we celebrate and recognize that finally reaching the slaves back in Galveston, Texas, we need to recognize we can't have people treated that way. So it's important to celebrate it, but also to remember it as well.
Even though Juneteenth has been celebrated across our country for decades, it's not officially recognized federally or even on the state level here in Colorado. But Denver did recognize it as a city holiday back in February. Many believe that this simple act can help elevate the conversation about social equity and justice in our country.
Again, we need to acknowledge the institution of slavery and what impacts it has had on the African American community.
You know, we're having conversations that honestly I wasn't sure wasn't going to happen in my lifetime. You know, and it's sad that something of the magnitude of the George Floyd murder has to stimulate these conversations. But we need to recognize that as a society, we've made a lot of progress. But there are still things that are prohibiting African Americans from having the same equity and equality as their white counterparts.
Once everyone is at the table talking about solutions for the social injustice issues that we have, I think we're like 95% of the way there, once the elephant is out of the room.
So let's have the conversation. Let's do the symbolic gestures. We're going to turn around and elevate Juneteenth as a city holiday. But how do we break down systemic racism, recognizing the white privilege in our society, and make sure that people, no matter what their color, can have the same equal opportunities as everybody else?
And so by celebrating Juneteenth and educating our communities about Juneteenth, what we're ultimately doing is pushing our country to a place of atonement and a place of healing. So Juneteenth is important for us as a country to understand where we've been, so we can forge a better way of where we're going.
For more stories and the latest full episode of Your City Now, check out Denver's YouTube page or tune in to denver8.tv.